our children a world that reflects our yearning for justice and sustainability and equality and abundance and so forth, that all of these, the peace and freedom and justice and equality, are all utterly available. There's no reason for us to be living in a situation where we're not experiencing this. This planet is enormously abundant. Have you noticed how beautiful planet Earth is? How many of you have noticed how beautiful planet Earth is? I hope some of you have noticed. It's the beauty of this planet, to me, is something that should really somehow touch us at a deep level, with a yearning to protect the beauty that is entrusted to us here, right? I mean, here we are the self-appointed caretakers of this planet. We're managing everything, right? How is it that we could be utterly attacking the very beauty that gives our life meaning, as well as the life support systems that we actually require to even survive here? We're attacking in an insane spree of violence against rainforests, against oceans, against aquifers, against rivers and streams and lakes and soil and everything, in order to maximize profits for a few. And under somehow this hypnotic trance that we've all been essentially had injected into us, that we need to eat animals and animal food, secretions basically, in order to be healthy. That idea essentially just creates a cascading effect of violence towards animals that then boomerangs and increases and builds as violence against ourselves in many levels. And yet we're living in a society where no one talks about this. And there's reasons why nobody talks about it. For one reason, just is that my father, actually, when I was a kid, when I was born, he bought one newspaper right outside Boston, Massachusetts, where I was born. And by the time I was in college, he had built up a little empire. He had I think it was about 14 or 15 newspapers outside Boston. And I learned growing up, just listening to what my father would say to my mother around the table and so forth, that you do not run news articles that will make your advertisers upset with you. You don't want to give people news that will say, well, we're not going to advertise with you anymore. We're going to advertise with the competition over here. So we have to understand that the media in our society, which is really what we depend on in many ways to get our view of reality, is controlled by these very wealthy corporations, and the biggest advertisers are the pharmaceutical industry and the fast food industry and the big business industries and so forth. And so they have an incredibly deep stake in people continuing to eat and continuing to just think that eating meat and dairy is hunky-dory. It's benign, it's fine, it's good, it's what we always did, it's who we are, it's what's for dinner. You know, as long as they can keep people thinking that, then there will be huge profits to be made from sick people and from wars and from the environmental devastation that essentially enriches the wealthy, because they're very adept, as you probably are aware, at essentially externalizing the cost of production, making society and future generations pay so that the profits maximize. And so for us as individuals in the society, I think our job here now is to make an effort to awaken and understand the ramifications of our food choices, the consequences of taking out our wallets and paying for meat, dairy products, and eggs. So